Hi, everybody. It's Connie, and we'll probably be getting some new viewers for this video. So I just want to let you all know that I am totally blind, and the person I'm interviewing is totally blind as well. And this particular video is not my usual format in that I am going to be showing you an audio interview. So most of this video will be more like a podcast format. Just this beginning part here will show my lovely face. But this is a interview with Kevin Coachman, and he is one of the first Neuralink um, participants for their new Blindsight program. And if you don't know much about Neuralink, you should research it because we don't go too much into it in this recording. But if I remember, I'll put a link in the description to another video where I talk about Neuralink a little more and what it is. But basically, it's pretty amazing. They want to restore sight to people who are blind. And um, he is going to have his surgery hopefully in November if all the testing goes well. That's like only a month away. And Kevin is just an amazing individual who hasn't let his blindness stop him. He runs a ministry for um, homeless people and giving them winter clothing, and all through the year though he's you can donate to him and his wonderful outreach that he has, and there will be a phone number on the screen because I'm skyping him using that number that you can PayPal or Zelle a donation. And so I'm going to give you that phone number right now for those of you who aren't blind and or who are blind and won't see it on the screen. Um, it is 630 um 962 9725. So with that, we will get right to the interview, and the connection on here isn't the best, unfortunately. There were a few delays and interruptions because we were having a little bit of difficulty hearing each other, but you'll definitely get the main essence of what we're talking about here, and I hope you will enjoy this and tell all of your friends and others that you know to listen to this as well, because this is a very important interview, and I think you will all benefit greatly from it, whether or not you are like want to have the Neuralink someday or not. It's still just a fascinating topic, and I hope to do more interviews with Kevin in the future along his journey. So with that, we'll get right to the interview.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kevin Coachman. I live in Chicago, Illinois. In 2016, I was carjacked, and I received multiple gunshot wounds. I had four to my body and two to my head, where the wounds up to my head ruptured my optic nerve and my cerebral cortex, and eventually I lost all of my eyesight.
Wow, that's amazing. First of all, that you had two gunshots to your head and you're still alive to tell the tale.
I'm still here, so that's why I'm trying to get the word out to everyone, especially everyone that's
Wow.
visually impaired or blind. You just don't have to
Mm-hmm.
stop. You don't have to stop living just because you are blind.
That is for sure. Wow. How long did it take you then to, well, first of all, before you went blind, you were like a mechanical engineer or something like that, right?
Yes, yes, I was. Yes, I was
Okay, I've been
a,
stalking you a
I
little
was
bit
a
on
professional.
Facebook to learn more about you.
Yeah, I
Okay.
was a automotive. I was an automotive mechanic for Montgomery Ward for 25 years and more.
Wow. Okay. Very interesting. So then, when this carjacking occurred, like did your vision just totally leave all at once, or was it gradual?
No, it left gradually. I kept seeing flashes of lights and I kept getting headaches. And once I went in, they told me my retinas are ruptured, so I had to come back and do 8 more surgeries to relieve the pressure of my my eyeball, because my brain still thought that I can see, and it was still sending signals. That was the flashes, and I
Weird.
kept getting headaches from the strain. So I went in, and my doctor performed about 8 surgeries on me to get me to relieve the pressure of my eye and try to get my retinas removed, where I have my left eye removed completely, but I still have my right eye, but it's turning gray.
Oh, wow. So your left eye is completely, it's just like a glass eye there or something?
Yeah, I have a prosthetic in it. A ball
Uh-huh.
was placed in my eye socket where I could put a prosthesis over the ball.
Okay. Wow. But then your other eye, you don't have any vision in it whatsoever, right?
No light penetration or anything.
Interesting. Wow. Um, so that's amazing. So, like now though, in the intervening year, like how long would you say it took you to fully, I'm sure it was terrible at first for you, such a huge
Well,
adjustment. I often say it's harder for people that go blind later in life than it is for somebody that was just born blind, and I'm sure that was the case for you.
uh, well, like I say,
Wow.
I'm
How
still
long do you
grieving.
think it
I'm still
adapted?
grieving. I'm still
You're still
grieving.
what?
The loss.
Oh,
I'm still
oh,
grieving
are
for the.
you?
I'm so used to
Yeah,
being completely independent.
I'm sure. Yeah, I read a
Now,
post on your Facebook recently where you were like thanking your wife for like helping you through your depression and stuff. So you still have
yeah,
times of depression and like loss, and yeah, I can imagine.
I still have bouts of depression, but to combat my depression, I work and help the homeless population.
That is so awesome. Yes. What is the name of your corporation?
It's called Chised Outreach Ministries.
Yeah, and what does that first word mean?
Chesed is a Hebrew word for kindness towards others.
Awesome. Okay, that explains that. Yeah, I noticed you said salam, so I knew you were Jewish. So okay, neat. So yes, I donated to you gladly. And I noticed on your Facebook you're always asking for like gently used clothing and winter clothes now, especially as the
Oh
winter
yes,
is coming on and stuff. So I imagine you've
yes.
helped hundreds. When did you start this?
I started in 2020.
Wow, that is so cool. Yep. So you're not letting your
And,
blindness slow you down. Huh,
oh
that's
no,
great.
I sometimes I do, but I have to keep going anyway.
Exactly. Yep. It's your attitude, and even when you know you're going to have bad days, sometimes you're determined to get past it.
Yes, I
And
do.
so are you like 65 now or something like that?
No, I'm 63.
63. Okay. Yeah, because I saw your birthday on your timeline or whatever, and I thought, oh, that's interesting because at first I was kind of afraid that Neuralink would only want like younger patients because I know their first quadriplegic patient is in his 20s.
Mm-hmm.
So like I was kind of disappointed about that because I'm certainly not in my 20s anymore. So that's just very encouraging to
Yeah.
uh,
Yes, they're looking for individuals. Now they're looking for individuals who had sight at one time, because
right.
it took a while for it took a long time for this procedure to get FDA approved in
I'm
America.
sure.
But in
Yep.
India, they had 2 people that received the surgery, the implants in India, where they studied, where American engineers study in India, and they had two individuals who had received the implants, and the reports that I received that one of the individuals had 30% of their eyesight back, and one person only has 10% of the vision back, but he just had the surgery done maybe less than a month, 2 months ago. So but they say it's gonna progress in a good way during time.
Right, like keep improving. That's cool. That was one of the questions I had actually. Huh.
They say with the technology that they're learning now on humans, that it will get better and better as years come. Everything's going to get improved because they're learning now, because they were using monkeys at one time for experimenting. And they would experience. Now they in India they started using human beings, and they said the procedure was well, and the woman that she was the first one to receive it in India, and she has at least 30 or 40% of her vision back, where she has light penetration, and she can tell if an object or anything in front of her now, where she didn't have no vision at one time.
Boy, I wonder why we're not, well, in a way, I don't wonder, but it's just incredible that we're not hearing more about her in the news and stuff like that.
Right.
Wow.
Well, like I say, it's in India. It was in India, but if you log on to Illinois Institute of Technology here in Chicago, they'll give you the whole story of her implants.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah, because I was wondering, like, I knew that in the beginning your vision would be limited with this Neuralink, but I knew it would improve over time. But then I was wondering, well, yeah, it will improve over time, but does that just mean that the first people will only get the first version and other people will get better versions? So I'm glad to know that even the first people, though, will be there. It will improve over time. That's exciting. Wow.
Yeah, Dr. Now, I don't know his position, but he's the genetics engineer that headed up the program, and it just got FDA approved here in America maybe last year.
Yeah. So, how did you first hear about Neuralink?
My optometrist, he keeps me updated on new procedures and things like that. Technology assistance and operations that they come. As soon as they get FDA approved, I'll get a message from him. And I was inquiring about the implants, and I called Illinois Institute of Technology that's doing the procedures here in America, and I was on the waiting list. I was on the waiting list for about a month, and then I called again, and they said I'm interested. They're interested in me becoming a candidate. So they sent my records of my blood pressure and things like that to the biogenetic office, and where now they say that I am a candidate for this procedure. They said sometime in November when I will undergo testing for this procedure.
Wow. So, like, your optic nerves are destroyed now, right?
Yes, I have none.
Yeah, but yet they have the. Pardon me?
I said when my optic nerve when the optic nerve is destroyed, I can't receive any light from my retina because I have nothing behind my eyeball. Yes. But they put the implants, they can go straight. With the implants, they can go straight from my cerebral cortex, from the implant, and go straight to the back of the eye, where the implants will act as a retina because they said your brain sends out electrons, and they say the implants will pick up the electrons, and with it going to the back of the eye, then I can probably recognize shapes and light after the procedure.
Interesting. So, as you understand it, it will be using your eyes still then? I wonder, will you still be using like your one eye that you still have? Is that what you'll actually be seeing with?
Yes. They said I can. If they said if the eye is not destroyed, the eyeball, the front of the eye is not destroyed, I can still use that. But if it's destroyed, they have a prosthetic eye that they can implant.
Oh. Huh. Okay. So, like, that's just amazing that even though you had two gunshot wounds, yeah, oops, there's a little bit of delay on here, unfortunately, I'm not sure why, but that even after those two gunshot wounds, that your visual cortex is still intact, apparently. That's amazing.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I didn't know whether my cerebral cortex was, but the doctor said that's in the back of the skull. It's in the back of the skull. I said, wow. And it's embedded. It's like the brain box of all control, physical control of your body. Your eye blinks, your brain, your heart rhythm, everything. So I'm glad that my cortex was not destroyed as well.
Definitely. Wow. So, like, was the application process pretty intense? Did they ask you a whole lot of questions, or how did that all go?
They asked a few questions, not just a regular standard question. Was I having internal illness such as diabetes or heart problems or breathing problems? And I came back 0. Then they asked me about my blood pressure and things like that. They asked me for my weight and height. Things like that. They had a problem with my weight. They said I have to lose a few pounds.
Well, I'm sure that will be worth it.
Yeah, they said I have to lose a few pounds. But other than that, they once you go into testing, they're gonna monitor your whole body conditions.
Okay, so like it's not 100% certain yet that you'll be chosen. You still have to make sure you pass all these upcoming tests and whatnot.
Yes. It's a lengthy testing procedure. But I'm proud to be one of the 5 candidates here in America. Mm-hmm.
Wow. So, like, are you nervous about having a chip implanted in your brain or anything like that?
I'm not concerned about the chip. I'm more concerned about the I forget what it's called, but they have to drill in the back of my skull. They have to drill a quarter-size drill, and they have to implant some type of module to my cortex. The implants is in this module that they're gonna drill in my head. So I'm just concerned. I'm not worried about the drilling, but it just sounds so terrifying. But
I know.
A lot of the people that I've read that in India, they noticed they had no knowledge of the drilling or the prosthetic in the back of their head. Yeah.
Right.
I believe.
And, like, do you know
that?
Oh, sorry. What were you going to say?
I said I believe that we are living in the Star Trek ages now.
I know, that is for sure. It's amazing, this era we were fortunate enough to be part of. So are you aware of Nolan Arbar, I think his name is, the quadriplegic that has this Neuralink?
Yes, I read up on him, and he's doing really well.
Yes, he is. And he was like out of the hospital, I mean, within the next day, and it was just amazing. He
Yeah,
just said it wasn't uncomfortable at all with this procedure. So I just can't
right.
believe that now, like the most major surgery ever, like working on your brain, is just going to be minor. Like eventually, it's probably just going to be walk-in appointment or something like that.
Right. Is the most
Amazing.
that's why the testing. I guess that's why the testing is so intense. You know,
Yeah.
you want to make sure that you have a speedy recovery time and things like that.
Yep. So like, what does your wife and family think about you having this done?
Well, my wife is very supportive of anything that I do, especially
Hmm.
trying to obtain my vision back. My children don't understand it, and they
Right.
like, Dad, you gonna have somebody drill in your head, and you're gonna put prosthetic. My son called me Jordy, a character from Star Trek.
That's funny. Yeah, pretty much. Yep. um, so like, um, so how, like, first, you probably won't have much vision, but like, if I heard that eventually they're going to do it on people that were born blind, and for them, like, they'll
Yes,
probably have to like totally learn how to see. But for you, since you've seen before, I imagine the process, it will probably be easier for you in that regard.
yes, that's why they're testing on people that had sight before first.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so then, like, they'll be able to update the Neuralink or probably give you a better one. Did they say anything about that, like as time goes by?
No, they said it can be adjusted every year, but they said that's not a probability, but it can be adjusted
Oh,
every year because they said that every they said mostly every year you probably get new technology that they can adjust.
yeah.
Well, like I might be able to I might be able to notice color again, So
Uh-huh.
because right now, as it
Wow.
is now, I only receive black and white images. But they said along
Mm-hmm.
the way I might be able to distinguish colors.
Cool. And I think it will be amazing when someday down the road, those of us that have this Neuralink might even be able to see better than our counterparts, like more than 20/20 vision.
Yes. Hmm.
Yeah. Um, what will they, like, did they tell you anything about what the procedure? Well, I guess you kind of already mentioned that, like how they're going to drill into your head and then put this wire or whatever in there. Do you know what it's like or
Yes.
anything?
No,
Oh.
but the doctor told me that they're gonna drill a self-contained module that'll go right to my cortex, and with the microchips in it, and my brain waves will energize this module.
Yep, I heard that.
But
Cool.
for me, they're gonna have to go into front of my eye to make artificial retina for me, since I have no retinas anymore.
Right. Yep. Well, I mean, I heard eventually they'll even be able to do it with people that were born without any eyes at all. So that's
Right.
kind of
Yeah, that's
amazing.
their goal. That's their goal. Yeah, that's the goal that
Yep.
they want. My doctor Ulansky, he said that's the goal, to get individuals who never had sight before to see again.
Mhm. Wow.
Have you
So
have
then
you
I
ever
guess
seen it?
after, pardon me, what did you say?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, after the surgery, are they going to, like, I am sure they're gonna do some kind of like follow up with you, like to
Oh yeah.
help you, or like to see how what you see, or ask you what you and all that. Okay.
But they said the follow up is like every week. I give the follow, but
That's what I was
they said
wondering.
I'll be linked to one of their computers. Um,
Right.
I'll be linked to one of their computers where they can monitor me as well as my vision. Because I'll be linked to one of the computers, in their office.
Okay, so they would pretty much know immediately if something were to go wrong or whatever just by their
Yeah.
monitoring system. Yeah.
That was
That's
a safeguard that I like. At least they will be monitoring my progress than me trying to explain it. I already be linked to their computer, so.
right. Wow. So you're not like worried at all about what this technology could mean as far as like your privacy or anything else like that?
Not really, no. I would like to see my grandkids as well as my wife,
Yeah.
and I like to see my great grandkids again. I can't wait to see the blue sky and the green grass again.
Hmm.
Birds flying in the air. I can't wait to see that again. And one day I might be able to drive a car again. So.
Right. So if it like, have they given you the chances, like what the chances are of success or anything?
No, not yet. They after they finish the testing and things like that, then they probably can give me more information. But one of the doctors said the most that he has noticed, people who have to receive the implants progressively, they became 30%. They were able to see 30% better, and it keeps going up every year. Right now, they don't really know because it's still in the testing. Like, it's still in the testing type mode.
Yeah. Exactly. So that's just cool that you're willing to just take the chance and like it just that's just very cool that there are people
Well,
like you.
I really don't have nothing. I really don't have nothing to lose. 30% of vision back is great for me.
Right. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
And you're not really afraid of like anything else possibly like going wrong in the surgery. I mean, I wouldn't be because I watched like I was just gonna say I watched an 8 hour long thing on was it Lex Friedman or was it one of those I think, but he talked all about Neuralink and interviewed all of the doctors and everything, and I was just so impressed after listening to that about how professional it is and how careful they are with their patients.
Yes.
So you'll be in the best of care.
Yeah, I'm in the best care. That's why I have some worries about the procedure of me overcoming the procedure, but I'm willing to try it. I'm willing to try where I can at least get some of my eyesight back. And if this is the road I have to go to receive it, I'm willing to do it without having fear, because a lot of people that I know that are blind, after they see the procedure, some say I'd rather be blind than go through that procedure. But I have a quest. I have a quest. I want to see again.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting. Like I've never seen, so it never really has been a burning desire for me or anything, and I've lived a great life, but I am still just so curious about what it would be like to see. And I mean, yeah, I'd be willing to but I'm glad there's people like you that are paving the way for the rest of us to have even more confidence when it's our turn that it's going to work out. And so, like, are you hoping eventually, like, you'll be happy if you only get like 30% of your sight back, pretty much?
That'd be a great improvement from what I have now. So, at least I'd be able to recognize light and dark, and I can see some type of images. Right now, I'm just in the dark 24 hours a day, in the dark with no light penetration or anything, and that kind of takes a toll on your emotions when you're in the dark most of the days I developed non-24. I developed non-24 because we are so used to going to sleep when it gets dark. But I'm always in the dark, so my body don't know when to go to sleep sometimes. So
Yep. Yep, I've heard it. I think I might have a touch of that too.
yes,
So I've noticed that you haven't really said too much about this procedure on your Facebook or anything like that. Is there a reason for that?
no, I'm just not trying to. I just don't want to put the too many eggs in the basket.
Right.
I just want to see what this procedure will do for me. That's about it. And just, at least I am a candidate, and that's the far step from knowing which way I know which way I can go.
Right.
Excuse me. You gonna stop at the store or in the mailbox? Okay. Thank you. I had to talk to my wife for a minute. She's on her way out the door.
No problem. No problem at all. Um, so like have they Neuralink or nobody has said anything like that they don't want you talking to media or anything like that?
Yeah, they suggest we don't, because
Really?
they I can talk about the preliminary part of it, the procedure, and
Yeah.
things like that. But they want to try to keep my progression. They want to monitor.
Mhm.
They want to monitor my progression. And maybe they'll make note of it to the media, since it is FDA approved now.
Right.
When it
Yeah.
was not
Well,
FDA approved, when it wasn't FDA approved, they were very secretive. They were very secretive
oh
on
yeah.
talking about it here in America.
Yeah, that's understandable, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I guess it's a
Yeah, but then
liability thing.
right, and then but people then were wondering why are you being so secretive, not understanding all the aspects. But yeah, it will be easier since it is FDA approved now for sure.
Right. Mm-hmm. So since it's FDA approved, they're looking for candidates all across the country. They have to contact
Yep,
Illinois Institute of Technology.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure eventually there's going to be a lot of people wanting to talk to you, and so I'm glad I got in right at the first.
Well, anybody can talk to me. If they want to know more about it, I can give them links or information that I receive daily, and I will
Wow.
post it. I will post it or make known that I received this new information.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So I'm just glad. I'm just glad that I am one of the candidates. There's only 5 of us, and I'm one of them. So
Wow,
I'm
that is
glad.
amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know anything about the other candidates?
No, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I read the report and the names. One individual is from Indiana. Um, he lost his eyesight due to a stroke, and that's the only thing I know
Mhm.
about one of them. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So would you be willing to do more interviews with me as you go through this
Sure.
journey and everything? I would love that. Awesome.
Sure. I wouldn't mind, because I would like all visually impaired people and blind to see it, to have the not just not to be able to see again, but can make a choice if they want to see or not.
Exactly.
Because I met blind individuals who've been blind all their lives, and they're not interested in seeing. So at least we have a choice
Mhm.
now.
Yep,
Mm.
that is true. And just hearing directly from the people that have been there, done that, so to speak, will really help to instill confidence in those who are like doubting or wondering if they really want to do it or whatever. So,
Right. A
yeah,
lot, a lot of blind people feel like we're not part of society anymore. You can have an impressive resume for a job opportunity, and they'll look at your white cane longer than they'll look at your resume. So
yep,
I go through
I
that
know.
daily. So I've been turned down
Yes,
for jobs that I know I can do. They know I can do it, but once they see my white cane, they say we're going in another direction. So.
Yep. Yep. I hope those days will get better. That the discrimination will, once they realize how much, especially now with technology and stuff, that we can.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just obvious that we can do whatever. But yeah, I'm just like great that
I'm
you.
going after.
Pardon?
I'm going after a lot of companies and agencies who say they are FDA approved and receiving government funding, because what I have found that most of the agencies and businesses that say they are FDA approved, they are not fully FDA approved, because they don't have anything adaptable for blind people. They believe that once they can have a wheelchair ramp and an automatic door, they're covered as ADA approved, and that is not correct.
No, that's not. Yep, that's true. There a lot of times. Yep, I'm glad you're an advocate like that. We need more people like that. That's awesome. Well, I want to thank you so much for talking to me, and I hope this is just the first of several interviews.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Thanks very much. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have a great day now.
You too.